Imagine waking up tomorrow and speaking to yourself not with doubt, not with hesitation, but with clarity and strength. Every morning is a quiet invitation, a moment suspended between yesterday's mistakes and tomorrow's possibilities. What you tell yourself in those first moments sets the tone for everything that follows. The words we whisper to ourselves are not just thoughts, they are the seeds of action, the architects of our day, the invisible hands shaping our reality. And yet, so often we allow negative patterns, fleeting fears, or self-judgment to take hold before the day even begins. What if instead you chose intentionally? What if the very first sentences you spoke to yourself were reminders of your power, your worth, your purpose? What if these words became a daily ritual, a compass guiding you through the challenges, doubts, and opportunities that await? Today, I want to share with you 12 powerful statements, 12 truths you can tell yourself each morning that have the potential to shift not just your day, but your life. Simple in phrasing, profound in impact. These are not just affirmations, they are commitments to your own growth, courage, and resilience. As we move through them, I invite you not just to listen, but to feel each word, to make it yours, and to let it echo through your day, shaping every thought, choice, and action that follows. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the first thought that enters your mind when you wake up. Perhaps it is soft, almost unnoticed, like a whisper. Perhaps it is loud, insistent, pressing you into action or doubt. That thought, simple as it seems, carries a power far greater than most of us realize. It is the seed from which your day, your choices, and ultimately your reality will grow. Each morning, before the world presents its noise and demands, there is a sacred pause, a fleeting window in which you can plant the seeds of your life with intention. Your thoughts in that fragile space are not just passing moments, they are the architects of your experience, shaping not only what you do, but who you become. Every belief you hold, every subtle idea that creeps into your mind begins here. What you tell yourself in these early moments can either lift you toward clarity, purpose, and joy, or it can tether you to fear, doubt, and hesitation. Think about it. The mind is like fertile soil, and thoughts are the seeds. Some thoughts are small, almost imperceptible, yet they grow in ways we often do not see until they are fully formed. A single negative thought whispered repeatedly to yourself can become a wall that limits your potential, a barrier that blocks opportunities before you even notice them. Conversely, a single empowering thought, embraced with intention, can become a guiding light, steering every action, every decision, and every interaction throughout the day. The consistency of thought matters more than the grandeur of it. It is not about grand declarations or fleeting bursts of motivation. It is about the steady practice of choosing thoughts that align with the reality you wish to live in, the reality you are capable of creating. Consider the quiet moments before your feet touch the floor, before your eyes scan the messages, the news, or the demands of others. In these moments, you have the rarest opportunity to shape the lens through which you view the world. Your thoughts act as filters, coloring your perception of events, people, and possibilities. If you begin the day thinking, I am not ready, I am not enough, or this is too hard, those thoughts will ripple outward. They influence your tone, your body language, your willingness to take risks, your openness to solutions, and even your health. On the other hand, if you tell yourself, I am capable, I can navigate this, or today holds possibilities, you activate a different chain of perception entirely. The external world may not change immediately, but your inner experience, your responses, and your ability to act will shift dramatically. You begin to notice opportunities you would have missed, solutions you might have ignored, and strengths you may have doubted. The remarkable thing about thoughts is that they are both intimate and invisible. No one else can see them, yet they quietly sculpt every interaction you have, every choice you make, and every outcome that follows. They are private, yet they have consequences that are public, tangible, and enduring. That power is why so many spiritual teachers, psychologists, and philosophers emphasize mindfulness and intentional thinking. To cultivate your reality consciously, you must first become aware of your thoughts, especially the ones that arise automatically. These automatic thoughts often hold the keys to patterns in your life, patterns of self-sabotage, fear, or limitation. By noticing them and gently redirecting them, you reclaim authority over your experience. You choose the narrative rather than letting unconscious habits dictate your story. Each thought carries energy. Some thoughts carry tension, anxiety, or resistance. Others carry peace, clarity, and motivation. When you practice directing your thoughts toward constructive, affirming, and intentional directions, you are not simply being optimistic. You are aligning your internal world with the external possibilities available to you. The mind does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you truly experience. When you train yourself to think in ways that reflect the life you want, you set into motion actions, decisions, and opportunities that mirror those thoughts. Your brain begins to scan for possibilities that match your mindset, your confidence grows, and your choices become more aligned with your desired outcomes. Even in moments of challenge, thoughts remain the compass. When difficulties arise, when setbacks appear, it is not the events themselves that define your reality, but the interpretation you give them. Thoughts can transform obstacles into lessons, failures into feedback, and uncertainty into curiosity. The more intentional your thinking becomes, the more you realize that reality is not merely something that happens to you. It is something you participate in consciously through the quality of your attention, the consistency of your focus, and the energy you bring to your own mind. Morning arrives quietly, often before the world has stirred, before the noise of notifications, responsibilities, and expectations begin their daily march. In that stillness, there is a rare opportunity, a hidden doorway to possibility that most people overlook. Every morning is not merely the start of another day. It is a new beginning, a chance to reset, to realign, to step into life with fresh awareness. Too often, we carry the residue of yesterday, its failures, regrets, and unfinished tasks into the new day like heavy stones in our pockets. But the truth is, yesterday is a story already written. Today, untouched and unscripted, waits for the pen of your intention. Each morning offers a clean slate, a quiet invitation to decide who you will be, how you will show up, and what energy you will bring to your life. To treat mornings as beginnings rather than continuations is to recognize a profound truth. Life is experienced moment by moment, and the first moments often determine the tone of all that follows. What you choose to focus on in the first minutes after waking matters more than you might realize. A single thought, a single choice, a single breath can tilt the trajectory of your day. This is not about forcing positivity or ignoring reality. It is about conscious attention, about choosing which thread you will weave into the fabric of your day. Each morning, you are given an opportunity to decide whether you will carry forward patterns that no longer serve you, or whether you will embrace the chance to start anew, unburdened by past missteps. Consider the power of ritual, the small, deliberate actions that anchor your morning. It could be a quiet moment of reflection, a few deep breaths, or speaking words of affirmation to yourself. These rituals are not trivial. They are the markers that signal to your mind and body that today is a space for intention, a space for growth, a space for alignment with your deeper purpose. The consistency of these rituals transforms mornings from mechanical routines into sacred practices. With every morning ritual, you strengthen the habit of conscious beginning, training your mind to recognize that each day is a blank canvas ready for creation. New beginnings are not only about external action, they are about inner orientation. Each morning, you have a chance to observe the thoughts that arise and decide which ones deserve your attention. You can choose to linger in self-doubt or to cultivate curiosity, to ruminate on what went wrong or to notice what is possible. This is the essence of treating mornings as beginnings, recognizing that your internal landscape is the foundation upon which the external unfolds. When you start the day with clarity and presence, the challenges you encounter are not obstacles, but invitations to engage with life more fully, to respond with creativity and resilience. Even the smallest shift in perspective in those early hours has a ripple effect. A single decision to begin with calm rather than frustration, with gratitude rather than complaint, with curiosity rather than judgment, sets a tone that influences every interaction, every choice, and every moment that follows. The world does not wait for you to feel ready or perfect. It moves regardless. But by greeting each morning as a new beginning, you choose how you will meet it, how you will navigate it, and how you will carry its lessons forward. Each sunrise is a reminder that life is cyclical, that endings are also beginnings, and that the opportunity to start again is always present, always available. In treating each morning as a fresh beginning, you begin to notice patterns that previously went unnoticed. You become aware of the moments when old habits try to reclaim your attention, of the subtle ways fear or fatigue attempts to steer your choices, and of the quiet voice within that reminds you of what is possible. By leaning into the morning with intentionality, you cultivate a mindset that sees potential even in challenge, that finds opportunity where others see only difficulty, and that embraces the unfolding of life with openness and courage. Mornings are gifts, and the way you choose to honor them speaks to the way you choose to honor your life. In every breath, every thought, every action at the start of the day, you are shaping not only the hours ahead, but the quality of your experience, your sense of purpose, and your capacity for growth. To embrace mornings as beginnings is to embrace life itself, moment by moment, choice by choice, with awareness, presence, and intention. Take a moment and consider the quiet voice inside you, the one that speaks softly beneath the noise of the world. It can be gentle or critical, encouraging or dismissive, and its presence shapes everything you attempt. This voice is your self-belief, the foundation upon which every action is built. Without it, even the clearest vision or most ambitious goal struggles to find traction. Self-belief is not an abstract idea or fleeting confidence. It is the steady, unwavering sense that you are capable of navigating life's challenges, learning from its lessons, and creating what you desire. It is the internal compass that guides you when circumstances are uncertain, when the path is unclear, and when external validation is absent. Every morning offers a chance to strengthen this belief, to speak to yourself in ways that reinforce your capacity, your courage, and your value, shaping the way you move through the day with presence and purpose. Consider how much energy you expend seeking approval from others, how often you measure your worth against external standards, and how quickly self-doubt can creep into your mind. The truth is that no one can validate your potential as consistently or as effectively as you can yourself. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is not imagining that you are perfect or that challenges will never arise. It is an honest acknowledgement of your capacity to learn, to adapt, and to take action even when fear or uncertainty is present. When you nurture this belief each morning, you create a steady internal foundation that allows you to act decisively, to face setbacks with resilience, and to engage fully with opportunities that may otherwise feel intimidating or out of reach. Every morning is a quiet invitation to reinforce this truth. It could begin with a simple statement, whisper to yourself in the stillness before the day begins. It could be a thought like, I am capable of handling what comes today, or I trust my ability to navigate challenges. The phrasing is not as important as the intention, the act of consciously affirming that you possess the skills, wisdom, and resilience needed to move forward. This practice rewires your internal narrative over time, replacing habitual self-doubt with consistent self-assurance. Thoughts repeated daily, especially those rooted in belief and possibility, accumulate momentum, shaping not only your mindset, but also your behaviors, decisions, and outcomes. When self-belief is strong, it changes how you perceive challenges. Obstacles are no longer insurmountable walls. They become puzzles to solve, lessons to learn, or steps along the path toward growth. Your responses shift from hesitation to curiosity, from fear to exploration, from limitation to possibility. This shift does not remove difficulty from your life, but it equips you to navigate it more skillfully, more creatively, and with less internal resistance. Every morning that you reaffirm your self-belief is another opportunity to cultivate courage, the courage to start, to try, to risk, and to persist, even when outcomes are uncertain or the journey feels long. Self-belief also affects how you interact with others and the world around you. When you approach the day with confidence in your abilities, your energy influences your environment in subtle yet profound ways. People respond to your presence differently, opportunities appear that may have seemed hidden, and your capacity to inspire, lead, or collaborate grows. This does not mean you must be flawless or that challenges will magically vanish, but it does mean that the foundation of your reality is strengthened by the trust you place in yourself. Even in moments of doubt or fear, self-belief acts as an anchor. It is the quiet reassurance that you can handle what life presents, that your skills, intuition, and persistence are enough to navigate uncertainty. It allows you to approach each situation with presence rather than panic, with strategy rather than impulsivity, with openness rather than retreat. Each morning, when you intentionally remind yourself of your capabilities, you are not simply boosting confidence, you are shaping the lens through which you see the world, the way you engage with challenges, and the energy you carry into every encounter. Self-belief is not a one-time declaration, it is a daily commitment, a practice, a ritual that begins in the quiet of your morning and resonates throughout the day. With every affirmation, every intentional thought, every conscious recognition of your capacity, you are constructing a reality in which action flows naturally, resilience becomes habit, and possibility feels tangible. The strength you cultivate within these early moments guides not only what you do, but how you feel, how you respond, and how you grow through every experience. Have you ever noticed how much weight we place on the opinions, judgments, and words of others, while quietly underestimating the power of our own inner dialogue? The words you speak to yourself, the statements you repeat in the privacy of your mind, carry a force far greater than any external validation. They shape your confidence, influence your actions, and color your perception of the world. Each morning presents a rare moment to recognize this truth and to speak to yourself with intention, clarity, and compassion. The first sentences you whisper, think, or affirm are not merely thoughts. They are the architects of your day, silently guiding every decision, interaction, and emotion that follows. When you pay attention to your internal language, you begin to understand its profound effect. Self-talk can uplift or diminish, encourage or paralyze. A casual, unexamined thought can become the lens through which you see your possibilities. If you start the day thinking, "I can't," "I'm not ready," or "I'm not enough," these phrases, repeated even in silence, shape your perception, your energy, and the choices you make. Conversely, when you intentionally tell yourself, "I am capable," "I am present," or "I can navigate this day," you activate a different current, one that strengthens focus, confidence, and resilience. Words spoken inwardly are not just reflections of who you are, they are instruments by which you create who you will become. Consider the quiet moments before your feet touch the floor, before the world asserts its demands and distractions. In that stillness, you hold an extraordinary power, the power to define the tone of your experience. External circumstances may be unpredictable. Challenges may arise unexpectedly, yet the internal narrative you construct becomes the compass that guides your response. Words carry weight because they shape perception, and perception shapes reality. This is why deliberate, positive self-talk is more than motivation. It is an essential tool for navigating life with intention, clarity, and purpose. Each morning, before you engage with emails, obligations, or social media, you have the opportunity to set the tone with language that honors your potential, your resilience, and your vision for the day. The practice of mindful self-talk is transformative because it rewires patterns that have often been unconscious. Many of us carry inherited or habitual scripts, phrases learned in childhood or repeated through life experiences that tell us what we can or cannot do. By consciously choosing what you tell yourself each morning, You disrupt the automatic repetition of limiting beliefs and replace them with statements that align with growth, courage, and possibility. This does not mean ignoring reality or pretending that difficulties do not exist. It means meeting reality with a mindset that empowers you to act skillfully and intentionally rather than reacting from fear or doubt. Every word you direct inwardly influences energy, focus, and even physiology. Studies show that positive self-talk can reduce stress, improve performance, and increase resilience. Each morning, the act of speaking intentionally to yourself signals to your brain and body that you are capable, ready, and aligned. This repetition, over time, becomes internalized, shaping the narrative of your identity and the way you approach challenges. Words are not passive. They are forces that ripple outward, influencing the way you move through the world, the opportunities you notice, and the confidence with which you step forward. Even in moments of uncertainty, self-talk anchors you. When obstacles appear, the words you tell yourself determine whether you see barriers or pathways, limitations or lessons, fear or opportunity. By cultivating an internal dialogue rooted in encouragement, clarity, and belief, you build a foundation that allows you to approach every challenge with presence and skill. Each morning, when you commit to speaking with intention to yourself, you are not merely generating motivation for a day, you are shaping a mindset that sustains you over the long term, guiding you toward growth, resilience, and fulfillment. Self-talk is a quiet, powerful ritual that begins in the stillness of the morning and echoes throughout the day, shaping thoughts, actions, and experiences. By taking ownership of the words you speak inwardly, you reclaim authority over your reality, your decisions, and your potential. The simple act of choosing what to tell yourself each morning is a profound declaration that you are aware of your power, that you honor your capacity, and that you intend to live each day with intentionality, presence, and courage